Just finished a meeting quite away from home with a really big energy consumer and a nice bunch of guys in the facilities team there. They they're doing well on energy efficiency. They've done all sorts of cool stuff. They've done inverter drives, LEDs, new transformers, sorts of good projects. But they have a climate change agreement, and they are not hitting the targets that climate change agreement requires. And so the question arises, with all that expertise there, where do they go next? How do they beat what is probably missing their climate change agreement by significant percent? They're losing out maybe on 100 grand's worth of potential climate change levy costs because of this missing this target. So what are we going to do for them? Well, they haven't really, because of the payback times on energy generation schemes, they haven't really looked hard at those. And what we're able to do is actually bring in some energy generation schemes that have no capex, and therefore the payback is immediate for them. We will provide a funded scheme. We'll do all the operation, maintenance, installation work, and that cost will be lower than the grid cost. So if you imagine the grid costs are going up by something like 5% a year for power, because this site is almost pure power usage. So the grid costs are doing this, and that's avoidable. If they enter into a power purchase agreement with us, then their energy costs will be locked into RPI, which is going in much lower than grid costs, and so their energy costs will do this over 25 years. Now the gap between these two is probably multi-million pounds. No capex for them, multi-million pound savings for them. That is an interesting proposition. And having developed these ideas, and there are probably four, there's probably a gas engine or a gas turbine to provide them with electricity from mains gas. There's a CHP, because they've got a lot of chilling load on site, that we could use tri-generation CHP for. There's solar. They've got some roofs. I think it'll be pretty straightforward as a project, but will it do much? Not sure. And there's wind. They're in a good place. It's flat. A lot of reach for the wind to drive the turbines, but planning permissions, so on. So what we're going to do now is take away those four ideas, look at what we can do in terms of funding a project for them, give them the option of buying it themselves and making even more savings, and let's see what they have to say in a few weeks when we come back to them.